get the participation. It was full house. So
Good.
like yes.
Excellent,
So
excellent.
I think this one Google Meet can accommodate only 100 participants,
Correct.
and yeah, it was full. So we have to kick out someone to put you in. Yeah.
All right, all
Anyway,
right. Good.
yeah. Anyway, good to see you, Ranjan.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So like we are 20 minutes gone already, and we will just start the meeting since our resource person is here.
Okay.
So like program, we are fortunate to have Mr. Ranjan K. Baruah. He is a very young, dynamic, youth icon. He is a social activist. He is also a writer who always contribute, good articles to the newspapers and medias, and also like he used to provide trainings on career guidance and all this to youth and different colleges, institutions, and throughout the northeastern state. So welcome, Ranjan. And I, on behalf of CECS, would like to thank you for accepting our request to take a session on career guidance this evening. So you being a very busy man, it's very difficult to get his time, but he willfully accepted our invitation, and he is here this evening to give you, more knowledge about your career. So, in order to save time, I would like to give time to Mr. Ranjan to introduce yourself once again, and we can continue the session. Yeah, over to Ranjan.
Thank you, Tosi. Thank you. So, at the beginning, I thank Tosi, my old friend. We have together for this. Myself, I'm Ranjan Baruah. I'm based in Dimapur, Fly. Please keep it in mute mode now for a while. I request everyone. Everyone to please keep your phone in the mute mode now. Once I request you, or Toshi, it is my request to you, you can make everyone mute except me.
Yes, yes.
I'll request whenever I ask you, they can reply, no problem. But now for just few minutes, they can be in the mute mode. Okay. So I'm assuming and then hoping that everyone is happy. So this very much, I mean, like unexpected, not liked by many. Tough time we are having, I agree. Yeah, of course, now I have to go ahead. This privilege of most of us, we've been doing it for more than 1 year now, since like March 2020. As student, I'm sure most of you are very happy this time during Christmas, then during Saraswati Puja, and lastly that Eid that we had, 3 rituals. All our gods are in problem. All our gods are in problem because all the students have sent application that like summer vacation, winter vacation, they need corona vacation. So, God accepted this, and in 2021 also granted, this time also we are having corona vacation. I'm not sure what will happen in next year. So somewhere the happiness kind of thing that we are being happy is in question. Of course, being student, we are happy. If we are not physically ill, we are really happy. Because as a student, to be honest, most of us, we love to bunk our classes. Very simple. And if someone comes and tells me, no, sir, I want to be very studious, I want to be in the first bench, then I'll really, I'm going to be in confused state whether they're a student or they're someone else. A very small percentage of us are definitely in studious mind, but most of us, happiness is in question. Sadness, why I'm saying happiness and sadness, the thing, there is something called fear, and of course, anger. These days, when we have, some difficult time, I mean, it's not impossible time, but it's something where we are in a challenging time. So we have this happiness, sadness. These are all our emotional intelligence. And why I'm talking about also emotional intelligence before I'm giving you some of the career options is because these all things are connected to what we are going to do in our future. Okay, so it's not that easy. Many of us, we want to be, we study science, we study arts, we study commerce, everything. But if we really want to have a very career, that with uh, our qualifications, with our dreams and aim, we also need to have the emotional intelligence. Now coming and talking about the activities at home during lockdown. So these days when we have a lockdown, so some of you can reply if you wish, no problem. So I think you have been watching movies. One or two may reply to me. Watching movies, maybe you have been.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good.
Yes, sir.
I think you have been watching web series.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
social media, I'm sure you are using it. Earlier it was TikTok, but now TikTok is not there. But now tell me, how many of you have taken membership to any of the digital library? Be honest. Have you taken membership of any digital library where you can access newspapers, magazine, books? I'm sure most of you have not taken this. So this is where we will find out whether we are using lockdown time in more constructive way or we are using lockdown time in I'll ask you a question. you have to just reply. Now, suppose people who pass the division, let's say good marks, like 80% or above. Basically, what stream they choose?
Science.
Science.
Mostly science, yes, mostly science. And after they choose science, they prefer to be either doctor or simple. If you get first division, take up science, become doctors or become engineers, and are very much respected citizens in the society or in the state or in the country. Very good. Now, suppose people could not be doctors or engineers. They were smart enough, but not very good marks holder. But they want to do something, a kind of a job where they have more power than doctors and engineers. So can you tell me any job which is doctors and engineers? Any job which has got more power than even doctors and engineers? Where they have more power.
Any job is a teacher.
Can you tell me any job which is doctors and engineers? Any job which has got more power than even doctors and engineers?
Any job is a teacher.
Pardon? Just simple,
Teacher.
right? Teacher.
Teacher.
Can you do you think a teacher can one
Minister.
Scientist.
Ministers.
So I'm saying powerful.
Right.
And a minister is not a job. It's like you can be also more. I can be a minister. I'm saying about a job.
Servant.
Engineer from say one district, say from Dimapur to say Kohima, Kohima to Longland, say Longland to Mokokchung. Pardon?
Businessman.
The businessman not job. No, they cannot transfer anyone.
Scientist.
Business is not the job. Pardon?
Sir, police.
Scientist.
Police. Do you think a police like as sub inspector or someone can transfer a kind of doctor from one place to other? So basically, these are the bureaucrats. These are the bureaucrats and civil servants. This is secretary level person, chief secretary, all the bureaucrats. So they can transfer. So simple funda says that all division people. Study science, become doctors and engineers, and become very powerful. But people who get second division like choose bureaucracy, civil servant, but they are more than first division. Let us get third division. So people who get third division means somehow who manage to pass, but they want to do something. Even they say we'll even transfer a DC. We'll also transfer a SP from one district to other. So who can even transfer to DC? And the MLAs, ministers. Now see, simple formula says, first the people, doctors, second they become bureaucrats, but third they say ministers, but they can transfer even, they can control second and third dip. Now, suppose let's talk about the fourth division people who somehow they go to college schools, but they could not finish their education. But they say whatever you do means first dip, second dip, third dip, we will control all of you. So do you think anyone whom even ministers and MLA also fear? Any idea? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Maybe the guerrillas army.
Pardon? Who?
Maybe the guerrillas army.
Yes, someone like the terrorist extremists, no? Terrorist extremists, dons like, because Even ministers are also afraid of them. So just see the thing, no, the irony, first div, second div, third, fourth, and now the last but not least, the fifth division holders, whom, or we say, who has never been to even schools and colleges. But they say we'll control all of you. Now, what is the profession? Or what someone should do that everyone will fear you? They simply become all the dhongi babas, no? All the dhongi baba who gives you rings and water, something, all this thing. So people are confused, whether you go and read. But now I'll ask you a question. Just listen. I'll ask about two persons. You have to identify about whom I'm talking. There is a
Okay.
person who was very good in academics. So he got into IIT Delhi. He passed out from IIT Delhi. He became a civil servant. He becomes civil servant in Indian Revenue Service. It's a very tough exam, but he passed. Then he worked with Indian government. Then he resigned because he thought, doing the job is not his task. So he want to do something more for the community and people. Then he started social work. After doing social work, he felt that the only thing that he can do is that he has to join active politics. Then he started a political party and he came into election. And presently he is the Chief Minister of New Delhi. Who is he? Presently Chief Minister of New Delhi. Any idea?
Who is the Minister of Delhi?
Yeah, present Chief Minister of New Delhi. Who is he? Is Arvind Kejriwal. He is IIT product, IIT Delhi product, means he is an engineer, then a civil servant, and now Chief Minister of Delhi. So see, then civil service, and now the C. Not only one person, this person's he takes the mic, in front of mic, he would say, मेरे प्यारे भाइयों बहनों, मैं तो गली गली में चाय बेचता था और मैं क्या बन गया? Who am I? Prime Minister.
Narendra Modi.
Narendra Modi. Yes, good. So now you decide whether you will go to an engineering college to become CM or you will go to sell tea and become Prime Minister. What is the best option you have?
First option.
So this is
No.
huh?
To become a success, of course.
Yes.
Because not every distiller will become a chief minister.
That's why I'm saying. So I am talking about the education qualification of 2%. Successful, I'm not talking. Successful is we'll talk about success. So like someone even passing out from IIT, becoming civil servant is tough, but not necessarily where we're going to land up. So when it comes to career and job, my only suggestion is that don't think that if someone is getting very good marks means that is a good career. Bill Gates never been to any university. He's controlling everyone. Look at most of the successful person. Most of them are with less academic qualification. Yes, they have experience. They have learned from their real life. So my meaning is that when we talk about career or job, 2-3 things you have to keep in mind. Don't only think that if you get a very good mark, you will get a job, because there is no job saying that anyone getting 100 out of 100 will get the job. For any job, what is there? There is a minimum mark. It should, for some, say 40%, 45%, 50%. That means we have to make sure that with our qualification, we also need certain skills if we want to get a job. So these things are very important. And my experience of being a career mentor is that, many of students, they get good marks, they get first division, but at the end they come and tell me not getting good job because their communication, their behavior, their presentation, creativity, critical thinking, somewhere they are not up to the mark. So my dear students and all our respected teachers who are here, always remember that career is a combination of both the things. It includes mark, it includes whatever academic qualification you have. It also includes the skills that you have. So remember from now, if you are dreaming for a good job, if you are dreaming or if you are planning for a good future, you have to make sure that all these things are with you. And if it is with you, fine, well and good. If not, you can learn. So what's written here?
अपना
I
टाइम
want
आएगा
I want everyone to read and say this. क्या लिखा है? जोर से बोलो। क्या
अपना
लिखा है?
टाइम आएगा।
अपना टाइम आएगा अपना टाइम आएगा टाइम
जोर
आएगा
जोर से बोलो, जोर से बोलो एक बार।
अपना टाइम आएगा।
अपना टाइम आएगा अपना टाइम
आएगा आएगा। कब आएगा अपना टाइम?
कल नहीं तो परसों।
कल नहीं मेरा फ्यूचर में आएगा
अपना टाइम कब आएगा?
पेशेंस करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ, अभी अभी पढ़ो, अभी क्या लिखा है? अभी पढ़ो। इतना पढ़ेगी ना, क्या लिखा है? अपना
अपना टाइम आएगा अपना टाइम
Yes.
आएगा आएगा अपुन लाएगा
हाँ, गुड गुड।
ये तो
तो सेम थिंग, अपना कैरियर आएगा लेकिन खुद लाएगा, ठीक है? तो थोड़ा सा और, हाँ, थोड़ा सा और सुन लो मेरे बात। अगर ठीक से सुनेगा तो डेफिनेटली आएगा, और अगर नहीं सुनेगा तो नहीं आएगा। तो टाइम को आना है कि नहीं आना है? वेरी गुड। कोई भागो मत, अभी यहाँ से क्लास से भागना मत कभी, ठीक है? भागने से टाइम नहीं आएगा।
नहीं भागेगा
नहीं भागेगा ना? तो चलो इस खुशी में एक बार ताली मार दो सब। गिव ए बिग क्लैप ईच एंड एवरीवन।
मारो मारो सब लोग।
हाँ, जोर से ताली मारो। Good, 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 good. Now I can. Now you can. I can request now. Now you can again keep the mic for a mute again for few minutes. We'll talk again, but few minutes again keep it in mute mode. Very good, very good. Please keep it in mute mode. I'm going to say something, and then yes, of course, if you have any queries, you can ask. Okay, but I'm very happy that all of you are very actively participating. Toshi, you have a very good numbers of students and all the participants. I'm liking it.
Thank you, Ranjan.
So these are few options which we can take up after class 12. Okay, so now suppose we are in 9 or 10, then in simple, of course in future with new education policies, there will be few changes. But so far what we can think is that after we pass class 12, we can go for graduation, then we can go for post-graduation. We can go for some diploma program, which are like polytechnic courses or ITIs. Even for polytechnic, you can take admissions even after your class 10. But this polytechnic and ITI are not degree level course. These are diploma level course. Then we have something called integrated courses. These integrated courses are basically for 5 years. Like, if you want to study physics, if you want to study English. Earlier, what was there? You have to take admissions in graduation. Then again, you have to go for post-graduation. Now, these 5 years, you can do it at one go. Even like social work, if you want to become a social worker, there are courses which are for 5 years integrated courses. Then there are some diploma programs, depending on your interest, depending on the need. There are some special training, few trainings are complimentary, like free of cost, which are provided by government. But there are trainings which are also paid, you have to pay for those training. There are some entrance exams. I'm going to talk about those entrance exams, like exams that you're going to appear after your class 12. There are some professional courses where, instead of going for a long graduation or post-graduation, but you can think of some short-term courses, and then you can be in that particular profession. Entrepreneurship, it's talking thing in the town, everyone are talking. It's same thing like business, little bit of difference. We'll talk about that. And of course, there are options where, home-based. in India?
Is it about the university on defense?
Something with defenses, but can you just give me?
Maybe NDA.
Okay, so see the price, whatever you can give half price to this person. Half price. He said maybe, so giving him half price. This is yes, Defense Academy. It is in Kharagpur near Pune. So very good, but you look at half price, not full price. So I was saying that after passing class 12 or before even passing class 12, most of you, you can appear in few entrance, and the first entrance is this National Defense Academy entrance. It is the best and easiest. Why I'm saying, suppose you are in class 12, you can appear in the exam in the month of September, or it is basically in September or August. If you pass physical checkup, if you pass, suppose your interview and physical health checkup, the result comes out by Feb, and basically our annual exam is sometime in the month of March or April. And if you pass this exam, and if you pass your class 12, so say by May you pass your class 12, and June you are eligible to admission in NDA. So 3 years you are in NDA, you finish your graduation, and for 1 year you go for your training. Like if you are in army, you go for Indian Military Academy. If you choose Navy, you go for Naval Academy. If you choose Air Force, you go for Air Force Academy. So 3 years in NDA, 1 year in that particular training. Training academy means 4 years. After 4 years, means if at 18, suppose you pass your class 12 at the age of 18 or 17. So I'm thinking at 18 average. So by the time you are 22, you are a commission officer with all facilities from government. There can be no better job in the country better than this. No corruption, nothing. You have all the options to be an gentleman cadet and an officer at the time at the age of 22, because most of us are still struggling for a job till they are 25, 26, 27, and that too also small job. But this is an opportunity. So people who are, because I get a lot of queries from Dimapur, I get a lot of queries from even Kohima asking, they ask me how to prepare for this exam. The only thing is that this exam, so far, NDA is not for girls. This is only for boys. But yes, in future, that might be also included. Similarly, like NDA, there are exams like CDS, which is called Combined Defense Service Examination. There is exam like AFCAT, which you can see on the screen. It is called Air Force Common Admission Test. But for CDS and AFCAT, you need to be graduate. You need to be graduate in any discipline. Just remember one thing, if you are having arts or commerce, then you can only opt for army. If you want to be an officer in Navy or Air Force, you must have maths and physics as your subject. So this is important. All right. This exam is conducted by UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. Now that is for the officer's entry. Similarly, if you don't be getting to office because it's not too easy to get it. There are also options to join army. One option is like you can become soldier in, it is called soldier general duty. And after class 12, you can try your physical fitness. You have to run, chest, all checkup, then a small exam training. And then if you get it, then you are posted. But this soldier general duty is not officer. But if you get into through NDA or through CDS, then you become an officer. Like army, we become soldier. In navy also, we have scope. You can become sailor, or we call it navik, that you can even join after class 10. But if you want to become an officer, of course, NDA or CDS or special technical entry for the engineers. Similarly, in Air Force also, someone can join as airman. Airman is not an officer rank. Okay, all right. Airmen, sailors, and soldiers, these are equivalent rank. Because when we talk about defense, we have Army, Navy, and Air Force. Now, apart from this, there is something called Central Armed Police Force. Let's have a look. What are these options? I think you have seen something called BSF. Then there is option in CRPF, Indo-Indian Border Police. Then you have something called SSB, Sashastra Sima Bal. Then you have something called CISF. You know, this is like Central Industrial Security Force. Then this I think you have seen most of it because there is a camp near even just once you cross Dimapur, you will see these Assam Rifles, which are paramilitary forces. So I am just showing a Omen contingent from a parade thing. So it's for these things are for both boys and girls, means male and female, both can join Central Armed Police Forces or paramilitary forces like Assam Rifles. Now, paramilitary or Central Armed Police Force, this is 100% government. There is nothing called private things here. Okay, these are purely government things. taking up this course. Nursing, you can go for BSc nursing, which is a very good course. There are government colleges, there are private colleges. The case is that try for a government college because you have good facility.
Hello, I can hear.
Good lab and employed globally, not necessarily only in our state, but they are also in other parts. Like Japan, a country like Japan, is very is country. People are is like unlike our country, unlike some, we are more young. If you go to Japan, you find people are more elderly young. So they need people to take care at home. For example, I'm friend from North Indian, so maybe actually studying. So like medical engineering must be part of it. Like paramedic is something which is not exactly medical. But example, physiotherapist, lab technician, bachelor of pharmacy, diploma in pharmacy, and these are the options. So they are not exactly doctors, but they're helping. Like there are like ice stuff. Like when you go to lab, people who will take your blood, who will take your testing and everything. These are also equally important. So we call it paramedics. This is. Can you tell me what profession is this one?
I check up. I
I
specialist.
it is eye checkup, but nowadays for eye checkup, before consult, there is a very good course called optometry. Optometry means if you want to take lens, if you want to take new specs, so people who will check first is the optometrist. After that, if any surgery is needed or if any medical things are needed, then doctors will consult accordingly. So like physiotherapist, this optometry is new good thing. Like for someone can become dentist, but people can also become dental hygienist, dental assistant. So these are something which are not being talked with us. It is not very popular here, but people I have seen taking this course from outside and they come and they work in our region. So these are few options that even you guys can think of. Nutrition and dietetics, same thing. Nowadays people are COVID or they become diabetes, sugar and all. So there are people who can study this nutrition and dietetics, and they can also, this can be one of the areas of your work as well as study. Environmental science is one area because we know climate change, a lot of problem in the environment. So you can engineers can be part of this. People who study zoology, people who study botany, people can study environmental science, and you can be in this particular field. Life science includes like botany and zoology. Like class 10 we study science, 11 and 12 we'll say, oh, I'm studying physics and chemistry and biology. So life science includes botany and zoology. Zoology means it's with the animals, and botany means with the plants. This is technology, biochemistry, biotechnology. Chartered accountant for people who are from basically from the commerce background. If you think, okay, I want to be a CA, I want to be in commerce field, you can think of something. Commerce background, if you think, okay, I want to be a CA, I want to be in commerce field, you can think of something called accountancy or chartered accountant. Like chartered accountant, we have a course called company secretary. Any company in India who has turnover of more than 5 crores must appoint company secretary. So even in Nagaland, of course, it's being a tax-free state, so we might think that, okay, we may not need company secretary or a chartered accountant. There is other option which are very good for commerce students, but even, I'm not saying only commerce, even our students can also choose, but for commerce, secretary, or just say, no, like chartered accountant, these are good for people who choose commerce. Then, of course, law. All the time, if you think that, okay, I want to study law, There is an entrance exam called CLAT, Common Law Admission Test. You get admission in the best law university of the country, government. That is called CLAT, CLAT. Of course, we have a college in Dimapur, like Dimapur Law College. For Dimapur, getting admission in Dimapur Law College, you don't need CLAT exam. But all these leading institutes, there is one in Guwahati, there are others part of the country, you have to clarify CLAT. And if you want to take admissions in other law colleges, that will be based on your marks. Or the college might organize a written test. So this law you can do after your class 12. You have to clarify CLAT. And if you want to take admissions in other law colleges, that will be based on your marks. Or the college might organize a written test. So this law you can do after your class 12. You can do after 12 means that is integrated course which we talked about, 5 years. So earlier what was there? We used to study graduation, BA, BSc, BCom. We finish it and then we go for law. But now the base part is just after passing class 12. Instead of just going for separately BA or BCom, you can combine it into. We have teachers eligibility test. If you want to join colleges, you have to clarify NET exam, which is called National Eligibility Test. You have to get enrolled in PhD. So you can be teacher in schools, you can be teachers in colleges, you can be teachers in universities, or if you are expert, then you can also become teachers in some vocational courses. So schools, colleges, universities, you can become special educator and vocational teaching. These options are available. So this is what I'm saying. I could see few girls, Women Special Entry Scheme. Suppose, have you heard of something called NCC, National Credit Corps?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. So when I studied in NCC, we had a lot of people from Kohima Science College and also from other college. We did many camps together. So from since my childhood, I have got friends from Nagaland who are in NCC. So there's a very good thing for girls. If you have NCC, C certificate, like NCC gives you A, B, and C. Girls having NCC certificate and graduate do not need to appear in any written exam to become officer in defense forces. I repeat, you do not need to appear in any written exam to become officer in Indian Defense Forces. Just you have to go for the interview, medical checkup, and if you get it, you can become one of the commissioned officer. So there is, I think, no. See, we have some of the very good colleges like NIFT. NIFT is called National Institute of Fashion Technology. That is one campus is in Shillong. The head office is in Delhi. For that, there is entrance, special entrance. So when we are talking about the entrance exam, so after class 12, people can also appear in entrance for studying fashion. So see, it seems to be very easy, but it is not easy actually. These are all very, very competitive. Then similarly, if you're interested in film, this can be an option. If you're interested in acting, drama can be an option. This can be puppetry can be an option. Then let's talk about the management. In management, like we talk about becoming MBA, becoming part of big companies, corporates. So you can think of courses like BBA, Bachelor of Business Administration, instead of going for BA or BCom. Now someone asked me about hotel management. So for hotel management, the IHM, the government colleges, they conduct one all India level entrance. Private, they do not take entrance. But my request is that if you want to be a good one, a successful one, preferably join IHL, which is called Institute of Hotel Management, and these are managed by government. They give you a degree, and then they also give you good exposure. You can have job here. Here I'm saying in Nagaland or in somewhere in Northeast, or even you may get a chance to even work abroad outside the country. So this hotel management is an option for boys as well as for girls. They are a diploma program, they are degree program. But I would say if you are seriously into it, preferably go for degree. This is civil service. People, all those who are very good in studies can think of either Nagaland Civil Service or Union Public Service Commission. So you become DCSP, you know it very well. This is one option. You can join police, state police, or the other things like CRPF, and this we have already said. Railways, one of the option, government job, you can try. This PSU is called public sector undertaking, like Oil India, Indian Oil Corporation, ONGC, NTPC. These are all public sector unit. So you can think of your career even in the PSUs. Banking and finance, if you are interested, this is one option. A lot of banks are there, a lot of financial institutions are there. So you can think of being a part of bank or part of the financial institution. Sports and physical fitness, if you are good in sports, if you are good in, suppose you are physical instructor you want to become, or coach you want to become, then you can even study in college like Lakshmi Bai National Institute of Physical Education. This is government. It is in Guwahati. It's a central government campus. So you can think of all these courses. These are full-time courses. Hostels are available. And best part is that they have reservation for the students of Northeast. Means for the students of Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, there is a special quota. You can become physical fitness instructor. You can become a trainer in your schools, different schools, colleges. You can have your own like kind of gym or fitness studios. These options you have. So how many of you want to be in social work? Anyone interested?
No.
Not interested? Okay, no problem. So like social work is also a full-time profession. So you can study a Bachelor of Social Work, you can study Master in Social Work, and you can join different NGOs, international organizations like United Nations, UNICEF, Red Cross, and they are very well paid. They pay very well. The facilities are very good. You can travel to different countries. You get a chance to help people. You get a chance to help your community. So these are the options through which you can do it through courses like in social work. Similarly, you can think of studying sociology, which is more or less same like it, social work. For social work, we have institutes like Tata Institute of Social Science. There is a campus in Guwahati. Nagaland University also they give you MSW. Most of the universities in the Northeast they offer MSW courses. But the best thing in this, the Tata Institute of Social Science, is that around 66% of the students should be from Northeast. And I have seen people who have studied in peace. At least they are doing good. They are doing very good in different sectors in the social area. So sociology can be one of your options. Psychology can be an option. Now see at COVID time, many of us are disturbed. Many students are confused what to do, what about our exams, what about our future. So if I get hurt, say if I get hurt or hurt on my hand or head, blood comes out and I know, I feel the pain and I can tell a doctor, sir, doctor, I am having pain something. But if something happening in my mind, the mental well-being, the mental counting is not that easy. So even you can think of courses like psychology because these are very, very demanded course now. People will have a lot of problem because of these changes in the environment, changes in the practice, policies. So people who take up psychology can also get more and more benefit in their future. So psychology can be clinical, counseling, educational, educational, health, sports, social. This is gerontology is a kind of course or area where we work with the senior citizens or elderly people. That's why you can see many homes for the elderly person. So this is also another course. This is also a area of study and explore. Agriculture all time based. Now in Nagaland we can think of, because we are not interested in agriculture mostly, but if we plan, something can be done. Fishing or fishiculture, the aquaculture, as we say, where we can keep this. There are different options now. Not necessarily that we also only get it from river or oceans, but there are bioflocs. There are new techniques through which you can produce, you can grow more fishes for commercial purpose. Detail. Are looking for more herbal organic things. So we have institute where we are taught
Good that tea testing is also a part of job.
about tea, you can think of studying mass communication. So this is one option. Like when you talk about the insurance sector, health, life, all these things are also option. Education, because we need, this is an area where we need to do a lot of things. Language and linguistics, because just look at in Nagaland, if you look at, we have the 17 major tribes. Dialects are different, like Ao, Ngami, Lota, Sema, all these different tribes. Okay, so different dialects can be saved in a heritage, in a digital form. We can connect our language with international communities, for which we need experts who can be linguists, because they would connect it. So if you look at the job directly, you may not see a job. But believe me, if you really work on it, it is not only community service, but this can also link you. This can give you a very good global exposure. So language, linguistics are equally important. Sales and marketing, because everything depends on sales, marketing, whether we do digitally. Nowadays, earlier we used to go to shop to buy something. And nowadays, I'm sure you just scroll your mobile in Flipkart, then Myntra, Amazon, and try and buy something. Digital marketing is new option, because we have seen situations like COVID where we are more connected digitally. This is a new area to explore, digital marketing. Virtual assistant, see something, I'm here. I'm trying to give you guys some guidance, but I'm not in front of you. This is what we are doing. We are doing virtually. And Google Meet is a platform which has enabled us to do it. So Zoom is a platform which has enabled us to do it. So similarly, there are many other options where we need a lot of virtual assistant who can connect. Now Google Meet is connecting you guys and me. Google guys are connecting to your teachers, respective teachers, and me. Google Meet has helped me to connect to my old friend Toshi. Otherwise, I would have to come to your place, or you will have to come to this place. So this is see the connection. So you can think of this virtual assistant. You can help someone. You can assist someone, and all these things are paid. It's not. It is free. But you need to know how to move ahead. That's why we need all the information. Now something coming up is influencer marketing. Same thing, which if you are very good in social media, if you are very good in WhatsApp, if you are very good in like YouTube, if you have a very good profile in Facebook, you can become an influencer marketing. These are the options. So new options which we have seen, especially after or like since like 1 year time, since pandemic time, new things are evolving. This is on agribusiness, agriculture ideas, because in states like Nagaland or states like Assam, we produce for our self-sufficiency. We do not produce enough to sell. That's why we buy most of the things from outside. But in a cooperative model, people can think. It's time that, like even bamboo, Nagaland is very famous for bamboos, honey. There are many other things. So we can link all these things, like pig, uh, pork, pork meat, pork which is consumed in Nagaland. And most of the porks are not from Nagaland. The pigs are not from Nagaland. They come from outside. You'll be shocked to know that these pigs are coming from where? They come from UP. They come from Bihar. But the market is here because we do not, we are not taking interest. So now we have the options to become an entrepreneur, to take up the new things. So it's not necessary that we only look for the government job. So these are the options where you can think of many other new avenues. So what's written here? Can someone read it?
Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new.
Made a mistake has never tried anything new.
So whatever we do, whatever planning we make, we make mistakes in our life. So the moment if you are doing something and if people are laughing at you, you should be happy. That means you are doing something new. People do not laugh at ordinary things. They only laugh at extraordinary things. So try up new things, take up projects, study more, explore more. Don't think that it shouldn't be only limited to your textbook. Yes, textbooks are fast and priority. At the same time, we have to get more and more information for which we have to explore. So one area which I should not miss is the skill training. Nowadays, there are a lot of skill training centers. People who are not continuing their studies, they may think of some short-term skill training programs and maybe think of self-employment. Training you will get in hospitality, training you get in beauty care, training you get in BPO call center, then training related to retail and sales, training related to agriculture based, graphics designing, sports support. These are different options which, and there are many other. These are only few I'm saying, but there are many other areas where you can take training and you can move ahead. These are basically, and most of these training are free. These are given by some of the institute. I'm sure there are many institute in Dimapur too or Kohima. Then you can think of, or if you want to go out, I've seen people from Nagaland, they have taken training being in different parts. And most of these are free. But my request is that let us finish our at least minimum class 2. After we pass our class 10, we should finish our class 11, class 12. And then, yes, if you are not into regular studies, you can think of all these short-term courses or trainings. Beauty care is one of the area where boys and girls, they're all attracted. They want to be in this field. They can start their own, like I said, no home-based career. So this is one option where you can think of home-based careers. This is something yoga or exercise. I'm just putting as yoga because now India government has popularized yoga. 21st June, which is coming, the International Day of Yoga. So you can have your own yoga studio because people are stressed. People are having a lot of issues, a lot of problems. So we can also think of career. There are courses. There are courses to even master degree courses in naturopathy, in yoga, yogic science. So you can explore, not necessarily that we'll only go for our regular courses. We can think of these extra courses. So if you look at these things, few people, Rajnikant at the age of 25, I was a bus conductor. Bill Gates says, I did not even complete my university education. Sachin Tendulkar, I failed in class 10. Dhirubhai Ambani, whose son is the richest man in the country now, Mukesh Ambani's father, he said, I worked in a petrol pump. Means all these people who have been successful, not necessarily they have come in a ready-made structure. They have all tried. They have utilized the time. They have either studied well, or if they have not got good marks, they have studied from the environment, the surroundings, and they have become experts. So, okay, now I want everyone to say with me, if I say 1, you have to say what is written in 1. If I say 2, what is written in 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
you can now,
Yes,
you
sir.
can all unmute. Okay, I request everyone to unmute for a while. So, number 1.
I am the best.
Number 2.
I can do it.
Number 3.
God is always with me.
Number 4.
I'm a winner.
Five.
Today is my day. Today
It is not only today, it is every day is our day. So just remember this, consider yourself as the best. You can do everything. Almighty is going to support you. You become the winner when the day belongs to you. All right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All the best to everyone. Now, if you have any queries or questions, you can ask me. If you have any questions or queries, please feel free to ask. I can take few questions now.
Where have you downloaded all those pictures?
Sir, I want to know you more.
Yeah. Regarding what? Tell me. Yeah.
Sir, your biography.
CECS program.
Ask question one by one. Take your time. If you have any queries, you can ask. Yes, students.
Ask one or two. You can ask now.
Yeah.
You don't want to ask openly in front of others. You can just message me. You can email me your question. You can WhatsApp me your question, but please write your name so that I can relate. And then I'll at least within 3-4 days I'll try to give you a reply. All right. Just keep my email address and keep my number for your future requirements.
Question.
Yes.
So what is written here? What is written here?
Possible. I am possible.
So everyone say together. I am possible. Say.
I am possible.
I am possible.
Good. Very good. Now, see, if they have some questions, they can ask me.
Sir, I want to know you more.
Yeah, time is open now. You can ask any question.
Your biography.
Sorry, what you want to know? Anything specific that you want to know? No.
So I want to ask a question.
Anything. I request you that yes, if you have any questions and queries, please feel free.
Sir, I want to ask a question.
Yeah. Please ask. Please ask.
Sir, I want all the students to mute once.
Yeah. Toshit, please, sir, please make it mute.
Okay.
One by one. Yeah. Other one who wants to ask a question, he can just ask it.
Yeah, Susana, you can ask now.
Yeah.
Sir, you said that whatever we planned about today was like about all those things on which we want to do, then we can choose the type of universities. And also I'm confused that after class 10 what stream I should take.
You are in which class now? Class 10?
10 standard.
Depends on, see, even sometime to take, some admissions in good universities or colleges, what you would need is your marks. If you are comfortable in maths, you can go for a science stream. There is no harm. But if you're not very comfortable in maths, you can try in science stream without maths, depending on if you're comfortable in physics, chemistry, and biology. If you are not comfortable, then you can choose other streams like commerce or humanities or arts. Now, when it comes to choosing of the universities or choosing colleges, see the good colleges, the credible colleges, and the colleges which are very good. they will take entrance exam. You have to appear in entrance and you have to qualify. But colleges and universities which are not good, I repeat, colleges and universities which are not good may give you admissions even without any entrance or any test, but they will charge money. So be careful when you go outside in any of the private universities or private colleges. We have to be very, very careful, because colleges will promise a lot of things. They will show you a very good brochure. They will give you a very good pictures. But my request is that do not trust universities or colleges who promises a lot of things. All right. So it depends on your mark that you get in your qualifying, like in board exams, and then you can pick. Still, if you have any doubt, there are few questions I can later on share with you. There are some questions through which you can choose which stream would be interesting for you, whether it is science or arts or commerce. You can choose. That option is available. So keep my number, keep my email, or through Tosisha you can communicate with me. All right.
No, sir. Actually, my marks is like all the subject marks are equal, like not so high, not so low, and then
Are you
like
comfortable in maths? No, are you comfortable in maths?
yes,
So generally, how much you score? Above 80, above 60,
no, it's above 70.
or then you can think of. Then you can think of if it's and if you are comfortable above 70, and if you are comfortable that you are not
No,
getting
sir.
bored from
Actually,
maths.
sorry, sir, but it's not only about mark. Now we have to see our interests, but my interests are changing one by one. Like my
Interest will keep changing year after year. Now, due to COVID, people, even though they want to do, they can't do anything. So interest is later, but first interest will come. So initially, you have to know what the, like just going to war. We don't know who are our enemies, but we need to have all our weapons ready. So one of the weapons is that understanding maths and physics. Believe me, people who are good in physics and maths can do wonder anywhere on the world, anywhere, because they are very creative people. So when you talk about a life skills, you have to be creative, you have to be critical. So if you can solve basic ideas of physics, you can do many things. You can get into private sector, all this. So interest, yes, interest we can know. Like now, if I ask you, what is your interest? What do you want to do? If I ask you simply, do you have any aim in life? What do you say about your aim in life?
police IS officer,
Pardon?
IAS officer.
IS officer. Now, people who are mostly IS, well, many engineers are now IS. Okay, doctors are IS. But when they take the subject, if they are finals, they do not take engineering subjects or they do not take medical subjects. They take humanities. So look at the thing. Their interest, they are topped in science. They come from IIT, but when they appear in IS exam, they take sociology, they take history, if the are interested in civil service, what I will request you is that you can go through the syllabus once. In the UPSC website, you will get all the syllabus. Please go through the syllabus once. You will see the different subject combination. And on the basis of that, you can choose. But remember, in UPSC, civil service, it is not necessarily if you come from science, you have to appear in science subject only. You have the freedom. That means if you are more interested in maths, tomorrow you may appear for civil service, not for others. For civil service, you may even take history. You may even take public administration. But I would request you, if you are comfortable in maths, if you are comfortable in physics, at least class 11 and 12, you can continue in science. After that, if you do not find it good, there is no harm. You can change the stream and you can choose others. Because if you till class 12, what we have seen basically till class 12, people who study maths, physics, chemistry, biology, their mind, the thinking becomes very, very practical. The creativity is there, and they can do good things in future. So my guess is that initially you go ahead with science, and then yes, after that, if you feel any problem, if you face any problem, no harm. You can shift to others.
No, sir, but some people say now that we should work on our interests. If we take something which we are not interested, then like we'll suffer in our life future.
Now, what is your interest? If I ask you.
Like in which
Pardon?
I'm interested in science.
Interest? Getting it? What may I know what's your interest? Just unmute and say.
So like which kind of interest? I mean life or like which stream to take?
No, you are saying interest. You should do work with your interest. So I'm asking what interest you have. Which areas are interest area for you? Your hobby is simple. What you want to do when you are not studying. What activity you want to do when you are not studying.
So I'm not getting your point.
No, you are saying that you should do something with your interest, right? So whatever your interest. So I'm asking, what is that interest you are talking about? Are you confused?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll talk
social.
about it. We will talk about it. Toshi will talk with her. We will separately. We'll talk and connect with her. See, people will say anything. Many people will say many things, and if you listen to all, you will be nowhere. You are gone. So please listen to people who give you authentic information and authentic guidance. That's why Toshi has called me up. Otherwise, he also knows many people. He also knows many people who can come and speak like this. There is not a big deal. But you have to listen to everyone, but not necessarily you will follow. We have to, yes, that's why career plan is based on your marks, your qualification, your interest. If you want to become a civil servant, suppose you said you want to be a civil IS officer. So, like, what are the responsibilities of IS officer? Working with community. Then suppose a DC, district commissioner, what DC is to do. You know it, I think. You managing the district, managing the problem, everything. So those qualities and those areas of interest. Now, suppose if you want to be a government teacher, suppose someone wants to be a government teacher. Have you seen government teachers sending their kids to government schools?
Sir,
Tell me.
one thing I
Yeah,
want
just
to say,
Okay, stop.
no, I'm asking us
people,
one thing. Tell me one IS officer whose son or daughter is in government school. So tell me, show me one minister, one MLA whose son and daughter is in government school.
sir, they don't like government school, but they like government job. That's the reason
That is
we
the
are.
that is the problem. That is the problem. What I am talking about. Got the point. So it is because they don't work. They need money. They need this pink color. So my request is that don't become that. If you work with your interest, I believe me, every area have scope. That's why we need planning. So what we do basically, we study somehow. We not against government job. I'm not at all against government job. But if I am trying to be in government job, my interest, my attitude should also say that yes, I should also send my kids to government schools. But I won't send them because I know things are not happening. So it's not about confusion. Yes, a lot of questions will come to our mind now. Many people will say many things. So you people are in class 9 and 10. So when now after listening to me, I'm sure many of you have a lot of questions. Please share these things with Toshisha. I have given my email. Please email it to me, and I request Toshisha also. I already talked to him. If the situation becomes normal, lockdown is normal, I would love to visit Dimapur because I had a series of programs in 2020 March, and after we finish our programs in Dimapur and Kohima, this lockdown starts. So at that time we can talk more face to face, but till then, my request to all the students and even if teachers are here, if you have any queries or any questions, either you can send me the question or you can send it to Toshi sir. He will just forward it to me and we can keep on discussing about it. There is no harm in discussion. Because I know 1 hour or 30 minutes is not enough to choose your career. Not at all possible. It is not, I should not bluff. We need time. We need more time to invest. We need more time of brainstorming. Our interest, yes, you have said very good. Then what I want to do. Am I fit for this? What are the scopes? What are the job possibilities? See, if Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said that most of the India's engineers, 82% of India's engineers are not employable. We have more than 7 lakhs of engineers now, 1.5 lakhs employed. We have 20 lakhs, these are data I can share with you. We have more than 20 lakhs of graduate, but only 2.5 lakhs are employed. Rest are where? This has become because of that misplanning or no planning. They just studied, they wanted to get their qualification, they wanted to get their degrees, and now they're in confused state. So we have to make our planning. I agree. Many of you will have a lot of questions. Please make sure you write down all the questions. This is just the beginning. हमने पहले बताया अपना टाइम आएगा, अपना टाइम आने वाला है. We'll bring our time. Okay, we'll bring our time. So please send the questions to either Toshi or you can send the questions to me. Within 4 or 5 days, I'll make sure you all get your reply. All right? Toshi,
Yeah.
Toshi, can you hear me?
Yes.
So
Yes.
see, that is the best thing, because now I'm sure they will have some confusion. Let it be good. So they can send you the email or they can send you the questions, or they can all directly send it to me, and then it will be good enough. Then we can discuss again in future, right?
Yes. Yes. I think we can do that. So, yeah, headmistress is yeah, Ma'am Gani.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the students can, if you have any queries, further queries, you can send a message to your headmistress, madam, and then headmistress will accordingly forward it to me, and I will give it to Sir Ranjan Baruah for further clarification.
Alright, sir.
Okay. As we know, like we have a very limited time, and just within 1.5 hour time, it's not possible to give
Correct.
all the inputs. We even look forward that once the pandemic is over, once the normal situation comes, then we want that Sir Ranjan Borwa will come to our school and interact with you face to face. However, I think like in this 1.5 hour time, I think we have also learned so many things from our resource person this evening, and hope and believe that when the better days come, then we will have
Toshi,
interaction face to face, then we can get yes.
Toshi, yeah. So
Yeah.
dear students, how was it? The presentation, did you like it?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
If you have liked it, if you have liked it, show me yours like this. Liked it, good. So good. Please keep in touch. Always there to help you out. I'll try my best to keep in touch with all you guys, Toshi sir,
Yes, sir.
and we'll
Yes,
try
sir.
to help you shape your future. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes,
So,
Sir.
all the best from my. Thank you to everyone for hearing it so patiently. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Lastly, yeah, okay. So everyone, all the students for listening attentively, and I hope and believe like all of you who have joined today's session, you have learned at least so many things from the resource person. So if you have further any queries,
Yes,
any
sir.
question, for your career option, you can always, get back me, or you can get back to your headmistress, your class teacher, and then they will get back to me, and I will send all the questions to the resource person, and then he will give you all your doubts. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Once our school starts and once this pandemic is over, then definitely I will invite him to our school, and then we will have live interaction. Okay.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much. Okay. And then study
Okay.
hard, and then yeah, we will see you next time. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Bye bye everyone. Thank you so
Bye,
Bye,
much.
sir.
sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.